Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Kaiju number 8, chapter 31. Before I get into this week's review, I have to mention a few things, the first of which is my subscriber goal for 2021, hitting 5,000 by the end of the year. So if you're already a fan of my videos and you're not subscribed, you might as well help me reach that milestone. The other thing is my Patreon. If you want to help support me and the channel directly and maybe get access to some extra content, you can always become a patron. There's a link to it down in the description. That out of the way, let's get on with the review. This week's chapter picked up where the last one ended off, with the defeat of what I've just been calling Kaiju number 10. His entire, well, not his whole upper body, but his head, most of the middle section of his chest between his arms, it's just gone. And he seems to actually be dead for real. Pretty much all the Defense Force members are exhausted, and they're just generally kind of celebrating the fact that, they've not died. We also get a really nice moment with Kafka, tearing up because after seeing how badass this whole performance was, he's realized that he's finally arrived or is almost going to achieve the dream that he's wanted since he was a little kid, being an officer among one of these guys. And that they're all just really fucking cool, which is true. So we just get some sort of nice little character interactions here for a bit. And then we see that, all the, what do they call them here? All the normal-sized kaiju, the Yoju. I need to remind myself of what all the kaiju varieties are called. The big one is called a, Hanju. I'll have to look up the terminology, because when I originally read it, I think I was using pre-viz scans, so they just all had something variation kaiju, but now we have Hanju, Yoju, so all of the rock pterodactyl things that they had been fighting, which were not fodder because they were really hard, but they weren't the main boss, they were what everyone else was dealing with, they all seem to have coalesced and are expanding into what is probably a bomb that is going to blow up this entire area. And we realized that the screech that number 10 gave out in the last chapter wasn't a death rattle, it was actually him basically, doing his final kamikaze attack. And his head is actually here, and he tells Hoshina, it's looks like this is a draw, because nobody's getting away from this shit. And then Kafka runs in. And when he runs in, we all know what's up. We know what's coming. So he runs in, and Hoshina's like, yo, where are you going? You're not going to help. And then he realizes, wait a second. How are you moving this fast? 1% combat power is not going to make a person move like this. So Hoshina is so far really the only character that's had any kind of suspicions of Kafka. Back when number 9 attacked originally, I think, Kafka's, suit reading disappeared at the same time that Kaiju number 8 appeared. So he's like, I wonder if there's any kind of correlation between those two things. So it seems like his suspicions are being confirmed this chapter as Kafka runs in, he apologizes to Hoshina, we get a double-page spread of him transforming into Kaiju number 8 with the full moon in the background. This is actually a really good spread. And the person at the command center is like, holy shit, it's a 9.8 fortitude, it's Kaiju number 8, and that's the end of the chapter. I have to say, my only real complaint about this series is that we get really short chapters after 2-week breaks, but it seems like there's not going to be a break next week. It doesn't say Kaiju Gallery. It says it's coming out on April 22nd, so that's fine. If this came out on a more consistent basis, I would not feel as blue-balled by when we get really short chapters after a long wait. But on the bright side, they're all very good, and I think it's good that the author is able to get much more reasonable schedule when it comes to, working with stuff. As I've mentioned a few times in the past, and as some of you probably know, being a weekly manga author is hellish. You probably could not pay me enough to work under that kind of schedule. And they are definitely not being paid enough to, work under the kind of schedule they are working on. So it's nice that it seems like authors who, release series on Jump Plus seem to get a lot more flexibility with their schedule and stuff like that. But now the moment is here. Ever since Kafka, got his kaiju powers and joined the Defense Force, we've had several moments where he's like, oh shit, do I transform? Do I not? Can I risk it? We've seen the various ways he's gotten out of being caught, because if he gets caught, what's gonna happen? They may try and fucking kill him. I mean, Hoshina tried to fight him the last time that he used his kaiju form, I think. So there's already like a not great precedent for how the rest of the Defense Force would react if he turned into his kaiju form, if he revealed himself. So we have to wonder, how is this going to go? Well, I think it's probably going to be a pretty mixed bag. Hoshina already had sort of suspicions about him, so he may be a little more open to him. I don't know about Mina. I'm a little uncertain about her. But I think you're going to have a very mixed reaction where some of the Defense Force members are all like, oh yeah, I mean, Kafka's been fighting alongside us, he's one of our guys, he's risked his life for us. Then you're gonna have other people that are gonna be like, he's a fucking kaiju, like he's an evil monster that destroys everything. So we gotta kill him or something. I feel like the biggest concern for him is getting like cut open in a laboratory. But yeah, he's definitely him saving the day here, saving everyone from this bomb is definitely going to be probably the deciding factor in how things go for him in the Defense Force. We're 31 chapters in. I don't think we're gonna have the main protagonist going on the run just yet. So I have a feeling, while it will be a mixed bag, I think things will go well in the end. So yeah, with that is all I have to say for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kaiju number 8 chapter reviews every week, every week that we get a chapter. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kengan Omega, and Black Clover, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoyed discussing Kaiju number 8 with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Since it's the end of the video, it's time to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, Archbear, CJ2K, Fuse, Neo, Solo Warrior, Tyrese Simmons, Dejan Redden, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Holly Walker, Angel Does It, and Chris Redfield. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the end of videos or access to some extra content such as solo leveling and omniscient reader reviews, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.